Hello guys, Ashley here, also known as the HLE fan, back with another wrestling topic review. And today I thought I'd begin with my thoughts on one of my personal favorite WWE storylines that a lot of fans think was squandered by bad booking, and that to me is the Summer of Punk. The Summer of Punk is when CM Punk finally broke through the glass ceiling with the pipe bomb, and he became a total attraction with everyone in the fans, and the Summer of Punk began. There are a lot of fans who think that this Summer of Punk is underwhelming. A lot of them feel like it took way too long for him to get the title after the pipe bomb. And I'm going to give my personal thoughts on it. Now, I remember when I was younger, I absolutely hated the fact that he took a back seat to the title, that it made absolutely no sense for him to not be in the title picture after the pipe bomb and everything like that. But you know what? Now that I'm older, I actually like the booking that they did. I like the fact that they didn't like make it so watered down. They actually kept it going. Like, it was actually entertaining. The only things to me that I hated from this booking was the stuff with Kevin Nash just seemed so pointless. The stuff with Kevin Nash just seemed so pointless. It kind of didn't really go anywhere, and that it even ended up being a Triple H and Kevin Nash feud anyway. So that really could have just been completely out of the equation for me. I think instead of them bringing Kevin Nash, they should just have the real cash in on CM Punk and have John Laurinaitis be the person behind Del Rio cashing in. That makes a lot more sense than Kevin Nash getting involved in it, because that went absolutely nowhere. Whenever Kevin Nash came out and tried to explain himself, it was always just very stupid and laughable. He took way too long to get to the point in his promos, to the fact that CM Punk was burying him in every single promo that he cut. When he told him to jump off a bridge and everything like that, when he made fun of all his little gimmicks that he had, like, it was embarrassing. It was like he was just getting owned by CM Punk in every single segment. So it was just like, let's get him out of this storyline. Now, of both of Del Rio winning the WWE Championship, I don't know if Del Rio had pictures on somebody in the company. I don't know if he had dirt on somebody in the company, or if he was fucking somebody. Why in the living hell did Del Rio get pushed for so many fucking titles? WWE, United States, World Heavyweight. Why was this man so obsessed with making him, out of everybody there, a world champion? I really want to understand that. How did he become world champion before R-Truth? Somebody who was over. Yeah, people might say R-Truth, his gimmick is a little too goofy, but it wasn't at first when he turned heel. I would much rather see R-Truth as world champion than Del Rio any day. But Del Rio as champion, that made no sense. See, honestly, it's just like a prop. His whole title reign just felt like a whole plot device. I didn't care about what him and John Cena had going on. It just didn't matter. It really didn't matter. Like, I honestly did like the stuff with CM Punk and Triple H, because a lot of people don't know that feud was actually very personal, because him and Triple H, they've never liked each other. And CM Punk has very valid reasons for not liking Triple H. Triple H tried to get him fired. So whenever I see you, if someone ever try to tell my boss to fire me because I'm not what the company wants, oh, it's up every time I see you. It would never be friendly. It would be up every fucking time I see you. And we all know Triple H, he got an ego. He could be a little bit insecure about when new talent come in, but that's taking it way too far. Trying to have someone get fired. Are you that insecure about your position that you got to get somebody, have somebody get fired? You already won titles. You've already main evented a whole bunch of pay-per-views. How can you be so insecure about your position? You're pathetic. So CM Punk had a lot of valid reasons for not liking him. So a lot of those promos that they cut, I wouldn't be surprised if they were shoots. They were honestly a lot of shoot promos between the two of them. And another thing too, when it came to the feud with him and Triple H. The little segment that him and Triple H had the night before Night of Champions, it is so funny seeing Triple H sit in the middle of that ring and talk about CM Punk's overrated and, you know, he's an indie darling. And he ended up signing a lot of the guys, building a company around a lot of the guys that he had everything against. Isn't that funny? That he ended up building a whole brand around people who were just known around the indie circuit and all this stuff. it's just really funny to me that he told someone like CM Punk, who he believed had no potential because of where he came from, but end up building an entire company around indie people. It's pretty funny when you think about it. It's astonishing. It's absolutely hilarious when you think about it. When honestly, CM Punk has more talent in his pinky than half the guys that have been on NXT. He has more talent than Sami Zayn, than the Finn Balor, all of them. He's way more talented, and it doesn't matter. The fact that Triple H stood there and basically tried to tear him down for where he came from, and he ended up being an entire company around the indie circuit, it's absolutely hilarious to me. But me personally, I actually really did like the Summer of Punk. I love the fact that they didn't just put the title on him. Yes, did it suck that he didn't win it sooner, that John Cena ended up getting the opportunities that should have went to him, which that too, was that really like, what was the point of John Cena winning a belt just to drop it? He won the belt at Night Champions and he dropped it literally back to the real at Hell in a Cell. What was the point of that? What was the point? Like, it was just, that was dumb. That title, the stuff between him and Del Rio, it was just so dumb and stupid. I just didn't care about it. I cared way more about what CM Punk was doing than the title picture on Raw. Sorry about it. I'm sorry. This title stuff is, I understand people were so frustrated, but to me, I feel like that kept me more engaged on him getting to the title, which I understand that 5 months after everything, it just seems way too late. But to me, I was just so more engaged. I feel like he still didn't lose the fans. I could understand when people feel like 5 months is way too late. He still had the fans on his side. He was still mega over. So I feel like it's not that bad that he did win it 5 months later. It's not that bad. Should they have? I mean, it's not like they didn't accomplish it. They didn't capitalize on it sooner. I mean, he did win the title at Money in the Bank, and he did retain at SummerSlam, which that's stupid because actually, hold on, no. When that person said that John Cena, it wasn't a clean match. John Cena ended up getting the title, the one contender spot over CM Punk anyway. He ended up being with the real for the belt anyway, so cleared that up. I don't care about any of that. I don't care about the fact that John Cena was on the road. CM Punk still won at the end of the day, and that's all that matters to me. So yeah, me personally, I don't think 5 months is way too late because he, like I said, he still had fans on his side, and like it was still very important. People cared more about him getting to the title than anything else that happened on Raw that year, in my opinion. I know I care about that more than John Cena and The Rock fighting Miz and R-Truth of all people. I mean, I don't care about that. Like, even when I went back and I remember buying that DVD, Survivor Series, strictly for CM Punk for his title match, and I remember thinking, why in the living dick is John Cena and The Rock having a match against The Miz and R-Truth? That just seems so nonsensical. It didn't make any sense. And honestly, it really should have just been a match between John Cena fighting The Miz and R-Truth, in my opinion. And if you think about it, their beef wasn't even with John Cena, so that just really just came out of nowhere. The beef was really with Triple H and CM Punk, and they lost that vengeance, which that was random. That was random too. Teaming up CM Punk and Triple H, that was random as vengeance. Well, honestly, that could have just been a match between Triple H and The Miz and R-Truth. Why are they adding CM Punk into that? Yeah, they might have had cost him the match at Hell in a Cell, but no. He shouldn't have teamed up with somebody that he lost to at Night of Champions. That was dumb too. I will forever, some part of me, as much as I do like Triple H, a part of me will always hate him for them booking him to win at Night of Champions. It was dumb. It didn't need to happen. It was stupid. When CM Punk explained how he always resented him for doing that, oh my God, I definitely understood where he was coming from. It was no reason for you to go over. I don't know if it was unscripted. I don't know if it was unscripted for him to go over. That's not my expertise. I don't think he really elaborated. But it was stupid. It was dumb. It was really dumb. But I don't think it ruined his momentum. People trying to make it seem like it did. It really didn't because, like I said, he still had a fans on his side. He still had people who wanted to see him win the championship. It was still, he still had the fans on his side. He still had people who wanted to see him win. Me personally, I would much rather take 5 months than someone like a Kofi Kingston taking a decade and a half to win a title. Like, I just don't care. Like, I don't care. I would much rather take 5 months over like 5 years to win a title, in my opinion. I don't know how long it took Kofi Kingston to win the WWE Championship. I don't even know when Kofi Kingston got on the main roster, but you get my point if you understand. That I would much rather take CM Punk not winning. I would much rather take CM Punk taking forever to win the belt in 5 months over than 5 years, because 5 years is way too long for me to care about you winning a title, in my opinion. But I can definitely understand why he always resented Triple H for not putting him over, because the right losing decision would have been him going over. But to me personally, I feel like it ruined his momentum a little bit, but to me not too much, because he was still very over. People still cared about what he was doing and what he was going to do and whether or not he was going to win the title. So in my opinion, I think the Summer of Punk was actually a really good storyline. It's personally one of my favorite storylines that WWE ever done. I feel like it was a really good storyline on how to keep things interesting and not boring. Like, you think about the Cody Rhodes storyline, how he's supposed to be this underdog and all this other crap, but he won every single match with no scrapping, no crawling, no real overcoming. He just wins very quickly. When he was an underdog, he went through everybody so fast and so quick. There was no fight, there was no passion. That's not an underdog to me. That's just somebody who got lucky. An underdog to me is someone like Jeff Hardy. An underdog to me is someone like Daniel Bryan. That no matter how many times they were knocked down, they kept getting up, and it wasn't so easy for them to get to the big one. It was very easy for Cody Rhodes to get to the big one. Every match Cody Rhodes went into the last 2 years has been very, very predictable. Very predictable. I don't care what anyone says. Cody Rhodes is a very boring superstar. Honestly, I don't think nothing they can do is gonna make me like Cody Rhodes. Not as a face, not as a heel. I don't care about Cody. I really, really don't. Like no shade. The fact that WWE is treating him like as if he's young talent is like he's not young talent. Cody Rhodes was here when CM Punk debuted it. Let's clock it. He's not young talent. He's like 38. That's not young talent. Are you serious? That's not young talent. His title reign has been so boring. He's done nothing. He's done nothing as a champion. Absolutely nothing. Not a memorable feud, not a memorable promo, not a memorable segment. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And that's why I talk about the CM Punk video, that it's crazy that people talk about that's one of the worst title reigns when you have title reigns like Cody Rhodes. CM Punk did more in 1 year in his title reign than Cody Rhodes has done. That's clock it. CM Punk has had memorable segments in his title reign, feuds, moments, everything. I don't care what you tell me. He's definitely had way more memorable stuff in his title reign than Cody Rhodes has had. And I don't blame fans for turning on him, because the booking has just been so underwhelming with him. But you get my point. Cody Rhodes is not an underdog. Cody Rhodes is a nepotism child, getting everything handed to him because of who his dad is. Don't care what you tell me, it is the truth. But as for Summer of Punk, I didn't want to do it too long, but I just want to say that me personally, I don't think it was a bad or underwhelming storyline, because at the end of the day, he still had the fans on his side, and on some point, when he won that title, when you watched the Survivor Series match, that you were just excited. I remember screaming, jumping up and down when he won. Like I said, you guys do not know. I am absolutely the biggest CM Punk fan. I am his number one. Me. Not Cora Jade, not Roxanne Perez. Me. I'm the original OG CM Punk fan. Me. He hasn't met me yet, but I am the original. Me. I still am obsessed with him. I will forever love him. I had a crush on him. Like I said, there's a point in my life when I wanted to marry him and give him children. I'm gonna just say it. I don't care how uncomfortable it makes people feel when they hear it. I wanted to give him kids. AJ Lee beat me there to the plate. I'm not mad. I love AJ Lee. But me personally, I definitely feel like this is one of the best storylines going towards a title, in my opinion. In my opinion, it's one of the best. In my opinion, I know maybe some people might feel differently, but me personally, I've always liked the Summer of Punk. And me personally, I feel like it's a good storyline. The only thing I would take out of here is the Kevin Nash shit and Triple H winning at Night of Champions. I can take what Del Rio cashing in on him, and I could also take what Del Rio winning a Hell in a Cell because of the interference by the Miz and R-Truth. That's it. But I wish I had to make Del Rio the world champion because he was just so uninteresting and so boring and just a major plot device. But like I said, when he still won the title, I was still on his side. I was jumping up and down. I was excited. He still had me. He didn't lose me as a fan. So, I mean, he didn't really lose any momentum if he still had people on his side, in my opinion. So, that's just how I feel. I love the Summer of Punk, and if you don't, hey, that's your opinion. But to me, I definitely feel like it's one of the best storylines heading towards a title match because they didn't make it boring. They kept things interesting with all the controversy. So, in my opinion, it is going to be 1 to 2 and more to him to win the title, in my opinion. So, I had to make a video today. I need to talk about something. I just have so much wrestling stuff rattling through my brain. It's something to talk about. Tomorrow, if I get a chance, I will be making my video on how I feel like WWE ruined seems like an AJ Lee's storyline by not having them, or not continuing their romantic relationship. In my opinion, I'll explain why. I'll definitely explain why when she became Raw General Manager. What it made a lot more sense to put them back together when she became Raw General Manager. So if I get to it, I will explain. But love you guys. See you guys next time, and have a good day.